Hello everyone. I'm a student studying in St. Thomas Public School and would like to introduce myself. I'm Avnika studying in class 9 and would like to attempt a science experiment contributing to the school science club. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to my chemistry teacher, Mrs. Minnie Verghese, for giving me an opportunity to display this science experiment and provided me with valuable advice and suggestions to improve my experiment. This experiment is based on crystallization. Here I'm trying to crystallize common salt from hot saturated solution. So without any further delay, let's start the procedure. So now we are going to add this hot boiled water into a glass cup and add common salt, also known as table salt, into it to make it a hot saturated solution. But before adding salt into it, let's know what's a hot saturated solution. A hot saturated solution is a solution that contains the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in a solvent at a high temperature. Now that we have known what's a hot saturated solution, let's see how to prepare one. I'm starting by adding salt into the water and stirring it with the help of a spoon. We have to keep adding the salt into the water until we reach a stage where the salt appears as a solid precipitate or as crystals to form a highly saturated solution. Now we have prepared a highly saturated solution. Let's see how to test it. If you add the solute and it dissolves, then your solution is unsaturated. But in our case, you can see that the salt crystals have settled down and they did not dissolve. This indicates that our solution is highly saturated now. Now that our solution is highly saturated, we are going to add a few drops of food coloring into it. Now this step is optional. As you add food coloring into it, this will give a color to your crystals, but if you do not add, your crystals will turn out to be white or colorless. Now you require a string tied to an ice cream stick, and this will go into our solution. Just keep in mind the string is not touching the side of the glass or the bottom of the glass. Now we are going to leave this setup for about 1 to 2 weeks for the formation of the salt crystals. So it has now been about 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks and our crystals have been formed. Let's take a look at it. Let's know how does it take place. Water molecules are polarized. They have a negative side oxygen and a positive side hydrogen. So what's happening is that the polarized water is breaking the ionic bonds holding the sodium and chlorine in the salt together. When the water dries up, these two elements can rejoin and form crystals. Also, during this process, water of crystallization is gained. What is water of crystallization? The fixed number of water molecules which enter into a loose chemical combination with the substance when the substance is crystallized from its hot saturated solution is called water of crystallization. It is responsible for the geometric shape and color of the crystal. Also, how does crystallization occur? Well, the driving force behind crystallization is a supersaturated solution. This salt crystal is a hydrated salt. Salts that contain water of crystallization are called hydrated salts. When these hydrated crystalline salts are heated, they lose their water of crystallization and become amorphous, which means lack of defined shape or pattern, lack of well defined melting point, and they lose their color and turn into colorless powdery substances. Thank you for watching.